welcome back to the Isle of Man and the second of our TT24 review shows. In the first, we saw Michael Dunlop take his 27th TT win and move ahead of his uncle Joey as the all-time most successful rider ever here. 5 more races still to come, including the RL360 Superstock race, the class that saw Peter Hickman set the outright lap record last year with 136.3 miles an hour. On commentary duty for us were Cam Donald and Andrew Coley.
Here we go then, time to get Superstock underway, starting with the number 1, the Magna legend John McGuinness launches the Honda down towards Bray Hill. Rolling up to the line next, Jamie Coward. There's the tap on the shoulder. Cameron Donald. These machines are epically quick, as we know. The outright lap record ahead of the more factory-prepared Superbikes. What are the main differences for everyone at home?
Relatively standard engine and chassis, some modifications to the exhaust, rear shock absorber, even the external forks, brakes, wheels, everything remains standard. It just shows how good these things are off the showroom floor, capable of incredibly quick lap times, as we see Michael Dunlop heading off down the line on his Honda.
He'll be looking to try and make it 28, of course, breaking the record with 27 on the Super Twin. Very different machine to the Super Twins. This is Davey Todd. Todd swapping to the BMW, and Cameron, the BMW has been the weapon of choice here as we see Hickman roll up on a similar machine for a number of years now.
Yeah, absolutely. The BMW's been very good in standard form, as we know, because that's the class where Peter Hickman set the outright course lap record.
Davey Todd coming through the Glen Helen section.
It'll be interesting to see the times when they reach his first time executive. Davey Todd riding this bike, very successful in British Championship.
He leads, Cameron, he leads. 1.5 up, and Hickman is a 10th down on Dunlop. Okay, there's 1.8 across the top 3. Let's not get too excited, but we said he'd be in the mix, and he's immediately on it. On board now with Ian Hutchinson, another TT legend. He's been caught by Todd, though. Todd blasts past him, so Todd's on it.
At the end of the mountain mile, up the inside, nice clean pass. Now on board with Jamie Coward. He's caught John McGuinness as they head up through the veranda. We thought Jamie might have passed by now, but just shows the pace that John is on.
He's still quick, isn't he? On the left, that's Harrison. So Dean Harrison has caught on the number 3 machine. He passes Coward on the number 2, and now he's right up on his teammate. Oh, little tank slapper on the exit there, just a tiny one, but he's winding it on quickly, and he'll try and get past. Look at this. This is short circuit racing on that one.
There's Toddy straight behind, he's coming in now. Denver's there's waving, got his hand in the edge to make sure he's right. Obviously this has to be a really, really slick. Here comes Hickey in the background, the guys are waving. This will be a typically relaxed pit stop. Oh, yeah, a little bit unstable on the brakes, but again, no visor change, they're just cleaning the screen. They'll be filling, you can see Daz is just having a word there with Hickey, and they'll be just filling him in exactly what's going on the track, and he'll know he has to push.
Well, there's the answer to our question. 4.7 seconds is the combined gap now between the pit stop and the run to Glen Helen.
Coward pulls out of the slipstream now for John McGuinness, and look, he hasn't got the legs, so the Honda has still got enough power to hold McGuinness up there at 183 miles an hour. That's Connor Cummins, and now back to Dean Harrison.
Oh, I love this view. It just shows how physical the riders must be. Andrew, the gap is down from 4.7 down to 2.4 at Ramsey Hairpin.
So Hickman then has had noticed that the gap's gone up, and he's trying to make it go back down the other way. I'm sure Todd is going to get told that pretty quickly as well. Got a fight on our hands here. Harrison is not out of the running either. Dunlop down into Parliament Square. That's Todd. Todd could catch these 3 riders. Cam, if he catches these 3 riders up over the mountain, there's only 0.5 in it. If he any traffic at all at this point, he could lose this TT, and that's based on the fact, of course, Hickman's already eating into his lead. So Todd has got to push hard, he's got to pass. People are applauding him in the background, and this man is chasing him.
We know how good Pete Hickman is over the mountain. This is what happens with your start numbers. It can work for you, it can work against you. You just never know how the cards are going to fall.
Oh, if you're looking into the distance when here comes Todd, stands the bike up, gets over to the right-hand side, opens the throttle hard through that little right-hander. Hickman coming to one of his favourite parts of the course. Oh, listen to that little bit of wheel spin.
Pete heading up to the Ramsey hairpin. Let's get the split. 1.1 is another half a second great. It's just over 1 second between these two as Pete Hickman heads up through his favourite section of the course.
Todd then took half a second back, but now he's onto the back of this train of traffic. John McGuinness is first. Todd can't find a way through here. Listen to the RPM up high. If he's going to do it, he's got to be committed. He's got to get on with it. He cannot be held up. Hickman at the minute has got clear road in front of him. As you see Hillier coming through, and Hickman has now caught Hillier. So now Hickman's in traffic as well with just the one bike to pass.
Oh, but he must get past as we head up Harwood Heights here. This won't be easy. Again, James Hillier is absolutely flying. Can he make... He's not going to be close enough to pass him. If he can't get through before Brandywell, he may have to wait to Windy Corner to get another opportunity.
He has a look now over to the left, almost alongside on the left-hand side now, to the right and Cam. Yeah, there isn't any way through, is there here?
Craig Barr, just 3 short miles between this man and potentially his first TT victory. He stood on the second step, he stood on the third step, but will he take the top step in this first Superstock TT of 2024?
Enormous pressure for him and still a couple of bikes to pass. He blasts past the first of them. That is Coward dispatched. On board with Coward now. You're looking forward to Todd. How far up the road is he from having to make his next pass there? You can see the target being reeled in as he runs down towards Hilbury. Hickman, remember, has clear road behind him. 170 miles down the approach to Hilbury. One of my favourite places to watch course-side if you ever get here. 3 corners, Crompney Mona, 3 apexes through here, and then he's going to be into signpost. So down over the line, Dunlop. Tucked in right behind him is Davey Todd. There's nothing more he can do. He crosses the line. Now we have to wait for Hickman to come through. It's been an incredible performance by Todd. But has Hickman stolen something at the very end of this? Listen to his commitment on the throttle as he comes back onto Glencountry Road. Hard on the gas, tucked in behind the bearing. This for a win on the TT. Is it going to be 15 for Hickman or is it going to be a first one for Davey Todd? Over the line. It's Todd. Todd takes it by 2.2. His first ever TT victory is in an epic battle against Peter Hickman. Davey Todd at the top of the leaderboard. Hickman gets P2 and Michael Dunlop in third. What a race.
Fantastic to see Davey Todd standing on top of a TT podium for the first time in his career. And of course, he wasn't the only rider to break his duck here. In Sidecar Race 1, Callum and Ryan Crowe became the first Manxmen to win a TT since Dave Molyneux 10 years ago. In Race 2, they had Ben Birchall to contend with, winner of the previous 11 TTs with his now retired brother Tom. But back on the grid with a new passenger, Kevin Rousseau, following a big off in qualifying. An early crash for Todd Ellis and Emmanuel Clement saw this one red flagged and restarted, with Birchall and Rousseau first on the road. Cam and Coley were watching.
Then Sidecar Race 2. On the line, the #1 outfit of Ben Birchall and Kevin Rousseau. This is the first time that Birchall has started a TT without his brother Tom on board.
Yeah, this pairing were looking strong in qualifying before a mishap. A crash in qualifying set them back, so they missed TT Sidecar Race 1. This is their first start together.
Absolutely, an amazing amount of support from the paddock, from the island to get this outfit back. It's a bit of a miracle they're starting it, really. Now, when they weren't there, of course, the Crows, Ryan Crowe and Callum Crowe, who you see go off the line now, managed to take their first ever TT victory, and they were very fast. They didn't just win it because Birchall wasn't there, but they'll be keen to have a scrap with him.
I think now they've had the taste of victory, they'll want that feeling even more.
That is Dave Molyneux, the legend, with Jake Roberts, who I think is the youngest contender in Sidecar, isn't he?
20 years young.
That is young to be riding on board. And Molyneux is 60, isn't he? So that is a massive age gap between them. And great to see Molyneux, the legend, still competing.
Lewis Blackstock, Patrick Rosny, they had a strong 4th place finish in Sidecar Race 1. I'm sure they'll be out to match or improve that now.
Oh, Birchall pushing. Rousseau with confidence in the legend who's won 14 times around here. Tom Birchall decided, you know what, I don't want to do this anymore, and Ben was, I want to carry on, and they found a new passenger, and it's a big, big commitment. Ryan Crowe and Callum Crowe challenging them, and it's 4.7 to the advantage of the Crows. So the winners of race 1 take the early advantage here at Glen Helen.
Wow, they're just seconds off outright lap record pace from a standing start. Those young lads are on it.
Dave Molyneux and Jake Roberts on board, sitting in P3. Of course, with some of the missing outfits, that's going to blow the field a little bit wide open. This is the John Holden and Frank Clays there in the number 6 outfit. Over that wet exit to Glen Helen.
John Holden, previous TT winner, hugely experienced pilot around the TT course. Oh, look at that Halley shot. You can see the aero shape, the design, quite different on Molly's outfit.
Here come the Crows, flat out at Kirk Michael.
And that's an early retirement for outfit 22, Michael Russell and Vicky Cook.
You're on lap 2, and those are your leaders in the background. The Crow brothers finally catching up with Birchall and Rousseau.
Oh, that would be spurring them on. They've got them in their sights now.
I think Birchall, while he's used to winning, Cam, I think this is such valuable time for him and Rousseau.
After the setback earlier in qualifying week, I think they'd both be thrilled just to be back out on course racing.
Here are your winners from race 1. Are they going to be double winners here in race 2? What a weekend for them at home. And what a weekend for this man. He's had a rough week as well.
He has. With all respect to Jake Roberts, he doesn't tuck in on that outfit quite as much as those more experienced passengers on the outfits ahead of them.
Up at the bungalow, this is the Crows, and they have managed to pass Birchall and Rousseau. So the Crows are in the lead. That means they're 20 seconds up the road from Birchall and Rousseau.
Blackstock and Rosny crossing the bumps as they head into Mayhill.
Here are Molyneux and Roberts making their way up the mountain. This would be an incredible result for Molyneux, wouldn't it? 60 years old. I think he's been competing here since 1985.
Yeah, quite incredible. Last time that Molly was on the podium was back in 2017, so it's been a while between drinks.
And when was his last win?
Last win back in 2014 with our very own World Commentary team contender Patrick Barretts.
Fantastic stuff. Will Molly make it to that finish in that position? We ride on board from Cregny Bar down the long straight here, fully tucked in. This is a man who knows how to win. They won earlier on in the week.
I'll have a look at Callum Crow's head there, just buried into that sidecar bodywork as it bounces all over the road as they head down through Brandish, keeping so low, just streamlining through the air.
Outrageous line through that left-hander, cutting over the white line, even over the grass.
Oh, Molly doing the same. Look at that sidecar wheel. Oh, the course knowledge of these drivers and to be able to judge exactly where that sidecar wheel is to the centimetre.
Incredible stuff, and incredible stuff as well from these two. Ryan Crowe and Callum Crowe came in with high hopes of taking a victory. They did that earlier on this week, and this is going to make it the perfect week. It's going to be win number 2. But they're also looking like they're going to hit the 120-mile-an-hour lap mark, and that is a very exclusive club to join. It is, he's celebrating already down to the line. Callum Crowe and Ryan Crowe celebrate the second win, and they're in the 120 club. Brilliant stuff for the Manxmen.
Birchall and Rousseau taking an amazing second place in their TT debut partnership. Molly records his 31st podium with young Jake Roberts.
A second TT win that felt even sweeter than the first for the Crowe brothers, who were able to spend the rest of the week celebrating, while the solo riders were forced to wait until Saturday for the skies to clear so that we could continue racing. Once again, it was worth the wait. Supersport Race 2 is coming next. Welcome back to the Isle of Man, where a rain-hit race week made for a hectic final day with 3 solo races. First up was the Monster Energy Supersport TT Race 2, with Michael Dunlop looking to extend a run of 5 straight wins in the class.
These riders will not be able to waste a second with only 2 laps of pressure is on. There's no pit stop and there's not the distance to make up for a poor start.
Paul Jordan leads us away, followed by Jamie Coward. Coward was quick in practice week, but of course retired from the first race. But this man, Dean Harrison, He had 10 podiums in a row, Cam, which is an outrageous record. It really is. That going right back to the last two races in 22, every race in 23, the first two this week, and then he missed it in Stockers. So I reckon Harrison, with a bit more seat time on the 600, should be up for a bit of a scrap here. And of course, Michael Dunlop, the winner of the first Supersport race, and with, I think, the monkey off his back now, can he match Uncle Joey, can he beat him? That's done. I think he's going to free him up.
Well, this is the man that will want to put a stop to Dunlop's Supersport streak. Davey Todd aboard the V2 Ducati. Very strong in that first race, and he's had a win since St Andrew. He is fired up and he wants another one.
Yeah, he really does, doesn't he? I mean, that, like Dunlop and beating the record, you know, it just gets you into the mood of, I've done it. I know I can do it. Hickman knows he can do it. Of course, he's off the line as well, and you ride on board with James Hillier.
James Hillier, he's made short work of Ian Hutchinson.
And here comes Michael Dunlop. Still those wet patches through there. We saw Todd standing the bike up on the inside line. That's not possible now. The water's running over the road. Here comes Todd into the Glen Helen section.
Well, up the inside of Josh Brooks on the way through what was Glen Helen 1, now Rutted.
Yeah, great to see that, named after the famous TT family. Here is Toddler on that tight line again. He doesn't use the road on the exit, but it is a bit wetter on the inside, as we said.
Josh Brooks probably picked up a little line tip from there. Look at the splits. Michael Dunlop leading Davey Todd by just 0.5 of a second. James Hillier 0.1 down. Dean Harrison, oh my goodness, you could throw a cigarette paper over them.
Yeah, you could. That is less than a second between the top four. That is incredibly tight. Hopefully going to have a full-on scrap on our hands. Full sprint, as Cam said earlier. There is no time to warm up into this one. With it only being 2 laps, you've got to light the fuse as soon as you head down Glencrutchery Road.
Amy Coward aboard the 765 Triumph, Paul Jordan behind, and there's Dean Harrison, our third place man, only 3.5 seconds off Michael Dunlop in the lead.
Dunlop catching up to Hillier. Hillier is just 3.8, I think the gap was, we saw at Bungalow, and he's going to go up the inside, is he? Dunlop gets almost alongside. Is he going to know he's there, Cam?
That's the thing, Andrew, on this high-speed section over the mountain, the wind buffeting and noise around your helmet is so loud it can be very difficult to hear a bike that's right next to you.
Dunlop tries again. He's desperate to get past Hillier. Hillier had that look back, but in Stella Maris, he's looked over his left shoulder. He won't have seen Dunlop, so maybe he doesn't realise how close he is. Here's Todd, who's chasing him. Was Todd going to set the time out at the split here? 2.7, so the gap is going up. If we see a gaggle of bikes now, that's Harrison that's managed to get past Jordan, but he's following Coward on the exit at Cregny Bar. You're looking at Michael Dunlop, who leads. Looked like he made a mistake towards the end of the previous lap, but I tell you what, Harrison's gone up in front of Todd now. There was 0.7 between Dunlop and Todd at Cronky Body, but as they've come past the grandstand, that is how they stand. 1.3 between the top three. Harrison here going to try and chase him down as he's in behind, no, it's Coward in behind Harrison.
That's right, and remember what we saw in Supersport Race 1, where Jamie Coward repassed Dean Harrison a couple of times. So let's hope those two don't start tripping each other up as we see Michael Dunlop. James Hillier not that far behind. Pete's made a heap of changes with this bike since race 1, and he's a couple of positions higher in this race, but not in podium contention as we would usually expect.
Yeah, 8.4 off at this point on the way into the hairpin. He's in a scrap with Coward. Look, Coward's only a second behind him, but we know people want to be podium as an absolute minimum. Up onto the mountain section, and this is Dunlop pushing for that 29th win. Who's your money on, Cam? Looking at senior. Can he go 30 wins in senior? Well, of course, he's got the twin in between times, but the senior's the big one. I'm wondering about people's confidence. 2, maybe 3 wins to Dunlop, 1 to Hickman, 1 to Todd this week.
Yeah, well, it is certainly all to play for, but Michael Dunlop seems to be getting on a roll.
Todd with 172 in the speed trap, so the Ducati's quick, isn't it? That's at the end of Solby Straight. It's got outright top speed.
Oh, Michael's catching Paul Jordan through the Bungalow. This is almost a carbon copy of where he caught James Hillier last lap. But of course, he does have the luxury now of a 4+ second lead that should take the pressure off him, get past Paul on his Honda.
Yeah, 4.8. And look at this, the slingshot he has got through there. That's how you get it done.
Yep, there's no stopping Michael on that Yamaha at the moment. He's flying. He's just building speed as he heads over that mountain back with Davey Todd.
See where he slots in. Harrison was 4.8 back. Is Todd going to be in the mix? He is 1.9. So it's still on for P2 between Todd and Harrison. There's not far to go. Todd, we know, liked this section the other day, made some time up right at the end of the lap at 1.9. Yeah, it's close enough.
Oh, the Halley shot just demonstrating perfectly how hard Dean Harrison is riding that CBR 600 Honda.
Hickman through Bungalow. Oh, look at that. Just a tiny little bit, getting rotation in the middle of the corner. Lovely stuff.
Dean Harrison, you can see he wants to get back on that podium, Andrew.
Here he is on the run down to Craigmy Bar. Coward is still with him. Oh, mark on the number plate there on the front of Harrison's machine cam.
Yep, bit of bird strike, I would say, but it's going to take more than that to stop Dean Harrison getting back on the Isle of Man TT podium.
You can see at the side there on the exit, he had his pit board up. Watch for Dunlop's here as well. This is somewhere Michael Dunlop nearly always has a pit board on the left-hand side. Looking, there it is. Up it comes, P1 plus 4.8, lap 0. So 0 laps to go. This is for your number 28, Michael. Keep it lit to the line. Over the finish line comes Dean Harrison. He was 4.3 down on Dunlop, so that's looking pretty safe. It's going to be about him versus Todd at the end of the lap. Here he comes then, Michael Dunlop. He's done the Supersport double. That makes it 6 Supersport wins in a row. It's his 3rd win this week. It's his 28th career victory. And he is still on to break a ton more records. Oh. He might be able to make it 30 by the end of the day. Dunlop takes Supersport race 2. Michael Dunlop then the winner of the Monster Energy Supersport encounter from Dean Harrison and Davey Todd. Coward, Hickman and Hillier round out your top 6.
So Dunlop making it 6 in a row in the Supersports, and now with another record in his sights to equal Ian Hutchinson's 5 in a week from 2010. Race 2 for the Super Twins is up next. Welcome back to our review of TT24, where a packed final day of action continued with the entire cover Super Twin TT Race 2.
Start line, of course, leads us down to Quarterbridge, Union Mills, Balagary, Crosby. You know the score by now if you've been watching all week. We're coming towards the end of TT 2024, and Super Twin should give us another great battle. 2 laps, 75.46 miles, all about momentum. We see the first 2 off the line, Paul Jordan and Jamie Coward. Paul Jordan retired in that first one. Jamie Coward was P4. He had a podium last year, of course. And here comes Michael Dunlop, the winner of race 1. Can he do the same again here?
He's a man we'll all be watching. He's certainly been on form in this class, strongest in literally every session, and of course including the first race where he was dominant. That's Dom Herbertson. Now there's another rider that recorded his first ever podium in the first Super Twins race. Great rider, improved massively in this TT.
Peter Hickman off the line on the 700cc Yamaha with the classic Swan Racing livery. Now he was P2 earlier in the week, and of course last year he won the second of the Super Twin encounters. Dunlop down at Quarterbridge, but Hickman, they wanted to do some work on that. We got the impression he liked the way it was riding, didn't we, earlier on in the week, but that there was more to come in terms of the engine. Maybe they'll take a bit more of a risk in this second encounter. Michael Dunlop leads at Glen Helen then by 3.5 seconds on lap 1. That's an incredible first sector. Coward P3, 1.2 back. It's Mike Brown who's 0.4 off. And then look at Dominic Herbertson, podium the other day, and he's 0.05 of a second off the back of Brown. So there's less than half a second between P3 and P5.
And we've got 4 manufacturers with Michael Dunlop on the Patten, Pete Hickman on the Yamaha, Jamie Coward on the Kawasaki, and Mike Brown on the Aprilia. How awesome is that?
Fantastic battle over these 2 laps. No chance again, Cam. You know, the same as we saw with the Supersport race earlier. You can't play tactics when it's a real sprint. Some people would argue 3 laps is a sprint, but 2 definitely is. No warm-up, get in there.
No, but to keep it in perspective, although it's a sprint, just 2 laps, that's still nearly 500 corners around the TT course.
Still together, Coward and Jordan. Sometimes I think it must be frustrating when you get past and then you go with the rider in front, but that's what it's like when you're able to follow. You can, if you're not winning, you're learning.
That's a huge part of racing at the TT, as we see there, Paul Jordan picking up the slipstream as they work their way up Harwood Heights.
Fantastic shots from the heli.
And as a rider, it's the calibre of Paul Jordan. He'll be learning now all the way along. Whoa, hang on a minute. Jamie Coward's got an issue. He's got a problem. He's set up, he's put his hand out.
So he's pulled out. The hand is to let the riders behind know that you have a technical issue, you've got whatever the problem is. We have dropped completely off the back, Cam.
It doesn't look like a catastrophic failure, otherwise he would have pulled off course immediately. He's still travelling, but he's lost a lot of time. Oh, as the rider's heading to Red Cullen here, look, rolling off as you come over the crest, so you're getting airborne, but as you're closing the throttle, the weight transfers forward, lifting the back tyre off the ground. Really tricky part of course.
Dunlop coming down to Cregny Bar.
Scrubbing speed off.
Leg off.
Oh, have a look on the left. Is the pit board there?
Oh,
there it is.
On the white line, as per usual. Now we're riding on board with Peter Hickman. He's heading down now towards Kate's Cottage. Who's he catching up to ahead on road? Is that Dom the Bomb Herbertson?
It's so quick through Kate's there, isn't it? And it just, I guess, the smaller bikes, not quite so much acceleration, barely a roll-off through there.
No, it's not. And the slipstream, even more important.
Proper gaggle of bikes here then. It's Josh Brooks, followed by Dominic Herbertson, then Peter Hickman. Oh.
Dom looks back, he'll see Pete's there. Oh, look at that camera. You can even see the tread of Dominic Herbertson's tyre. That is quite incredible as they make their way down towards Brandish in a high-speed freight train.
Herbertson with that podium last time out. Hickman was up there too. Can anyone challenge though Michael Dunlop? He's got a significant lead right now.
Whoa. The Brandish.
And despite the fact this is a time trial, we've got a race on the road here because Herbertson has gone back past Hickman.
Wow, he is on a push. That is fantastic to see, but can he pull 10 seconds on him? Because Pete has already closed up that gap. Dom's going to have a job on his hand.
Oh, that is Rob Hodson sideways coming into Cregny Bar. Cam, he's running a long way back from where we would have expected him to be on the road.
That's right, he couldn't get the bike started, so he actually headed off last, but you don't start until you cross the timing beam. So on reallocated time, he's still back up there and in with a shot of the top five.
Fantastic. Gonna have to fight for it. You're on board with Pierre Bihan, the podium finisher last year. I say P10 earlier on this week. There's that wet section in Glen Helen.
Back on board with Pete Hickman. He's kind of in no man's land at the moment. A big gap to Michael Dunlop ahead and a big gap to Dom Herbertson behind. So he's just got to keep focused, hitting his markers, keep on pushing.
Yeah, he had 11.2, didn't he, over Herbertson. Herbertson looks still under pressure from Brown, who's only 2 seconds back. Dunlop with this 10-second lead can roll off, but we don't think he's going to. Here comes Pierre Bihan through at the bungalow, and now back to Hickman.
Oh, and have a look at the crowd. Every time that shot pans back, big crowd, everyone's out. They've waited through the rainy days, now have got some dry course. They're here to see some racing.
They are indeed. Senior day always brings out the biggest crowds. Dunlop is still pushing really hard. Absolutely, elbows dug in, almost touching under the tank. He's holding on so hard, getting into that slipstream position. He really is. Oh no! Red flag. That's down at Cregny Bar.
Red flag, race stops.
And Dunlop raises a hand to acknowledge the marshals. After an incident at Handley's on lap 2 of the second Super Twin race, the result was declared at the end of lap 1. So Michael Dunlop gets his 29th TT victory from Hickman and Brown.
Another win and another shot at history for Michael Dunlop, targeting number 30 and 5 in a week in the big one. The Senior TT is next. Welcome back to our review of a truly unforgettable Isle of Man TT 2024, where the tension was ramped up on the final day for the big one, the Milwaukee Senior TT. The weather might have pushed back the start, but this one was worth waiting for. Cam and Coley watched the evergreen John McGuinness lead them out onto the road for the final time.
It's 4 laps, not 6 this year, thanks to the weather complications, but it is still the greatest challenge in motorsport. 150.92 miles flat out. The legend John McGuinness leads us off with the #1 on the bike. Here comes his teammate Dean Harrison. 3 times a TT winner. He's got quicker a week. Last time he won the senior was in 19. He hasn't had a win this week. Can he take that extra step today? Off down Bray Hill he goes. Michael Dunlop, 29 wins for this week. This could be a record-breaking day for him if he can take the senior today. He was miles in front earlier on in the week in the Superbike race until that visor problem robbed him of a win. That was Brooks off the line, and now Davey Todd, been flying all week long, took that first TT win. He'd love to take another one today, but it is a big ask against this competition. He tucks in and heads down Bray Hill. And of course behind him will be coming Peter Hickman, the #10, 14 wins, only 1 this week, but we know how good he is on senior day. Here comes Brooks into left-hand, a little bit of flames as he rolls off the throttle. Dunlop leads by 1.3 from Harrison, but of course we're waiting for Todd to come through, and he's 2.3 up the road.
Davey Todd, he has marked his intentions. This is an incredible first sector aboard that Milwaukee BMW Superbike. Peter Hickman,
a 10th quicker. Wow, so Hickman and Todd are pushing, but Hickman is a 10th ahead of him, so this is on. Here comes Dunlop now. He's about to trip that timing line. Let's see where he is in comparison to Harrison. And he leads, but remember, Hickman and Todd behind were up the road, so he's gapped Harrison by 5.4. Here comes Davey Todd.
Sounded like Michael got a lot of wheel spin on the way up to the hairpin there. He must be pushing that Honda very, very hard. If he's got pit signals already, he knows that he's got time to make up.
Todd 5.9 in front, so Todd is 5.9 up on Dunlop. That's outrageous. Here comes Hickman. Is Hickman still going to be leading because he was a 10th up on Todd? We know Todd's on it. Of course, he did have that little bit of traffic trying to pass a moment ago, and Hickman leads by 2.6.
Oh, Andrew, we have an epic on our hands as the BMW breathes flames.
Board, here's Dunlop.
Clutch is slipping.
What? That's
Clip the
not
clutch.
wheel spin, Cam. We thought we had wheel spin. That sounds more like clutch slip.
Yeah, it certainly does, and that's what, as we see Davey Todd making quick work of James Hillier on the way into Windy Corner. Davey Todd, this young man is on a mission. He's had a taste of victory this week in the Super Stock class. He said how similar the Superbike is.
It's Dunlop, Cam. Sorry to interrupt. Dunlop. The yellow flag is out, and he raises his arm because he's withdrawn from the senior TT. So Dunlop has gone 10. We thought we heard something at the exit of the hairpin. We definitely heard something at the exit of the bungalow. He will not make it 30 this week. He's going to have to wait until next year. So Hickman then up to 8.3. That could just break Davey Todd here once he sees his next pit board and finds out how big the gap is.
Sean Anderson, another rider going very well this year and in contention for a top 10 finish. And back to Mike Brown aboard the RSV Aprilia. Also set personal best this week. And then, of course, our Manx ace, Nathan Harrison, on the other official Honda entry. But this is the man of the moment. Pete Hickman, 135.5 mile an hour from a standing start. He's on lap record pace heading into the first pit stop.
This is where he has his pit board at the side of the road. Ginger Hall into... Oh, he's dropped it!
Down!
Hickman's
He's down!
dropped it!
Oh my goodness!
The bike goes down the road. Where is he? Is he okay? Oh, my, someone just missed the bike as well. They've come round the edge. It's still running. And finally, it's cut. Where's Pete Hickman?
This is unbelievable. Leading the senior TT.
He's
up on
okay.
his feet.
He's okay. That's the most important thing. He was leading the senior TT. He goes to the side of the road. As a look back at the bike, and you can see there, he's so disappointed. Wow, Cam.
We're right on board with James Hillier. He's about to hit the scene of the accident, and he will have no idea. It's completely blind entry as you pass the Oh, goodness, look. Mike sliding up the road, Peter sliding up the road, and he threads a high-speed needle.
Brilliant job by him to miss both, obviously particularly Pete. This is the onboard with Hickman, watch this.
So Pete's
Lost the back end.
Of Sulby Bridge and then rolls the throttle. Oh, as he turns into the left-hander past the Ginger Hall, and he's just lost it. Bounced off the bank as James Hillier flies past.
Lucky
Both
boy.
those riders so lucky. Marshals are quick to be on the scene, checking he's all right. Back to this man. Davey Todd now leading senior TT. Josh Brooks now running in second. Andrew, we are losing a favourite per lap. This is an absolutely epic senior TT race.
It is, and I think we're going to have a new senior winner. Remember that Hickman's won the last two, Harrison won the one pre-COVID in 2019. Todd only took his first TT victory earlier this week. He'd have been happy with one, but of course he's done it. He was in that fight. It's him that's made Hickman push that hard because he was there with him. So he deserves this opportunity, but we're not even halfway yet.
So there he is, here's Toddy, he's the leader coming in. He's pulled up just on the line there, no problem, everything seems okay, seems quite relaxed. We've got Josh Brush coming in, that'll be a mega podium if he gets on there, and good for the team. Toddy's is just getting a new visor put on by Stu Millington. The guys are cleaning the front of the bar. Obviously there's quite a few flies, they're cleaning the screen as well as a new rear Metzler going in. James Hillier coming in the bits, just flicking his visor up. He's on the pit lane limiter. Toddy's there off. And then the boys will be filling him in, letting him know exactly what's happened and what he needs to do for the last 2 laps. It's going to be the longest 2 laps of his life, believe me, I've been there. When you're riding around feeling every vibration, everything going on, like here we go, back in gear, no problem this time. Not like the last 2 bike races, getting out the pit lane on his own, running down, and the way he goes out there, pit lane limiter off, rock and roll. Hopefully to some bit of glory.
And here is Todd. Oh, backing it in. I tell you what, he's still pushing. He's obviously feeling really comfortable, Cam. Look, the lead's gone up to 43. He is still taking time out of people with literally 13 miles to go.
Sometimes the best way to stay focused is to continue to push. All too often riders get a large gap, they back off, and that's when they make an unforced error.
Lose their concentration.
Just edge a little bit more out over Dean Harrison. Harrison is safe over Hillier. So the top 3, all pretty safe for their podium position, but this is the toughest course in the world, and there will be a little bit of Todd, yeah.
Elbow down, showboating on the last lap, elbow down. That's incredible. Davey Todd, I think you could almost see him smiling through that dark tinted arrow visor.
I was just going to say that surely by now he's taking it easy, but he just is not, is he? It's a massive, massive lead for this guy. It's an incredible performance. I say, just took that TT win the other day. He had to fight for that as well, which I think made it a better win, didn't he? He wasn't gifted it, he won it on the road. He fought for it, and this is going to be probably, I think it's going to be the biggest result of his entire career.
Oh, without a doubt, without a doubt. Mike Brown. Oh, I love listening to that Aprilia, that V4. Sean Anderson now in tow, and Michael Rudder in between them.
And Nathan Harrison coming through. So good to see a Maxman on a factory Honda.
Yeah, absolutely. And just PBs, lap times and race positions. Look at the crowd just waving Davey Todd on as the miles count down. This is a sensational moment for this rider.
Look at it, look at it. P1 plus 42, lap 0. You are nearly there, and this is a popular win. The hedges are lined with people who love Todd. He's a young guy, and he's overturning the TT establishment.
Oh, Josh Brooks on the front wheel, then backing it in to Craig Navarre's turn on the last lap. This is without doubt the strongest finish Josh Brooks has ever had at the TT.
Davey Todd comes down to the final yards of 37.73 miles, lapped so many times over these last couple of weeks. He came here looking to join the Big Four. He beat the 2 biggest names arguably on the entry list in Hickman and Dunlop to take the Superstock race. And now he's going to come down over the line. His second ever TT win is the big one. It's a wheelie over the line for Todd as he takes the senior in 2024.
Oh, taking it in style with the stand-up wheel stand. Crossed the line into a stoppie.
That's a proper one, a massive stoppie on the way into the return road. Here comes Harrison. He's going to pick up P3. So regularly on the podium here. And now comes the smoke. Look at the fans, the phones are out. This is the moment for them. Todd has won the senior in 2024. That tyre's going in the bin. Brilliant.
And Davey Todd's name's going on to the biggest trophy in motorcycle racing.
It is Todd who takes the senior TT. The Australian Josh Brooks gets a brilliant P2. And Dean Harrison finishes third.
Davey Todd, the senior TT winner.
I felt comfortable battling for the lead there with Hickey. I didn't know if it was with Hickey or Michael, but felt like I rode real steady on lap 1 and 2. I tried to save a bit for 3 and 4 because I knew we had a bit of a better lap in the tank, really. So we just sort of saving it and ended up coming into the pits, and sure enough, we're in P1 with that big gap. Those last 2 laps were the longest 2 laps of my life. Honestly, riding around there, short shifting, nursing the bike, but the Milwaukee BMW team have built me a fantastic machine there. Absolutely love riding it, never missed a beat. The best of pit stops. I've got to give it up to the team, this one. We'll keep working. Those boys are fast. Michael's fast. I'm not sure what went wrong with him there. Hickey went down. I hope he's all right. I've heard he is. I heard he is all right. So, yeah, I can't wait till next year already. I honestly can't wait. I can't believe we've got 12 months to come back here again. Absolutely love this TT. We've had an absolutely mental one weather-wise, but this is going to take a while to sink in. This is a dream come true, this TT for me.
Honestly, I've had a traumatic week. I knew the Superbike would be my best class. Strangely, you know, with the smaller categories, I just can't seem to get it all to come together. But on the big bike, which I normally ride every weekend in the British Championship, I just feel at home on it. It's like my bike, and I feel like I can ride my way on that bike. And so I knew the Superbike and the Senior were going to be my best chance. And the Superbike, the chain broke, so I was devastated by that. And it's just been a traumatic week of problems. So that I wasn't even expecting to be on the podium this week. So second is like, I don't know, I feel like I've won it. It's unreal, honestly. Yeah, I mean, a lot of people obviously went out, but that's how it is at TT. You got to take it when you can get them. So I'm thrilled, honestly. I'm so thrilled.
I think we did well to get third out of that, to be honest. So no, I'm happy with that to say the week we've had. So no, it's good. So then, massive thanks over at Honda for trying obviously the hardest all week. We've tried all sorts of the bike of all the little issues we've had. So no, fair play to everybody.
And how would you summarise your first TT as a factory Honda rider?
We've had, what, 4 podiums, 3 thirds and a second, so no, it's nice. Obviously the potential's massive of the bike, of both bikes, or 3 bikes, sorry. So hopefully we can build on that from now, really. But no, I'm happy to be honest as a whole. It's been a good week.
Well, from Michael Dunlop's historic win in the Supersports last Saturday to Davey Todd joining an exclusive club as a senior TT winner today, and every twist and turn in between. It truly was an unforgettable Isle of Man TT 2024.